LeBron James was made for the regular season. He's a regular season dynamo.
Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're looking at 10 times pundits managed to make a total mess of their picks, predictions, and overall opinions of the sports they cover.
Kobe was there to entertain the fans, not to win games.
Micah Richards Champions League predictions. Pre-tournament predictions can be a tricky business.
Arsenal, Bayern! The Arsenal!
But for the former Man City defender Micah Richards, he could not have made a bigger mess of his 2024-25 Champions League quarterfinal picks if he tried. According to Richards, Arsenal, Manchester City, Atletico Madrid, and Barcelona would all make it out of their respective ties to meet in the semis.
Semi-final! I'm gonna go with just Atletico, Barcelona!
In the end, all four of those teams lost, and it was Paris Saint-Germain, Real Madrid, Borussia Dortmund, and Bayern Munich who ended up in the Final Four. Even if he was guessing randomly, Richards would only have around a 6% chance of getting all of his picks wrong. An all-time great prediction blunder.
City winners!
MMA was a far more barbaric sport in its earliest form in the 1990s, with very few rules compared to its modern counterpart.
The problem was with the old UFC was McCain came out and said, you can't put on these unregulated fights with no athletic commission.
But as Dana White and the Fertitta brothers got involved and began to clean up the sport's image, things changed. But during that push for mainstream acceptance, many pundits from other sports, mainly boxing, openly wrote mixed martial arts off as a fad and nothing more.
Then we went to our first UFC event, and we sat in the crowd and started to go, man, imagine if they did this, and imagine if they did that. This thing could be big.
Jump forward to the 2020s, and the UFC have built a brand that is right in the thick of the mainstream. A brand that has been bolstered by huge global superstars like Conor McGregor, John Jones, Ronda Rousey, and more. So yeah, unfortunately for them, they were pretty wrong about MMA's staying power.
It just is what it is.
Tony Mandarich can't miss OL prospect. Earning your place in the history books as an all-time draft bust is one terrible way to be remembered.
But this Spartan turned out to be a Trojan horse.
The hype behind Tony Mandarich ahead of the 1989 draft was truly on another level. Experts called him the greatest offensive line prospect of all time, and so when the Green Bay Packers drafted him, it was like a dream come true.
Tony Mandarich is the draftee. This guy, once in a lifetime.
Turns out he wasn't anywhere near as suitable for the top level as expected. 4 underwhelming years in the NFL were enough for the Packers to release him. Though he did mount a comeback in '96 with the Colts, he retired in '98 due to a shoulder injury. The gold standard for draft busts in any sport.
In all the hype and all the euphoria, forgot to check whether he could play football.
Jamie Carragher. Haaland picked the wrong club. A lot of people wanted to hate on Erling Haaland when he moved to the Premier League.
You called Haaland overrated recently. Yeah, I stand by that. I think he is.
Nobody could doubt the stats in his goal-scoring record, but it's wild to see how many fans and pundits dismissed him as an overrated goal poacher. Liverpool legend Jamie Carragher even openly questioned whether Haaland had picked the right club.
He may have actually picked the wrong club to actually get the best out of him.
By the time the 2022 to 2023 season was finished, however, there were no doubts left over his pedigree. With 36 goals, Haaland became the highest single-season goal scorer in Premier League history, ending the campaign with 52 goals in 53 games across all competitions. In the end, to say he was a success story would be putting it mildly.
No, it's an amazing feeling. I think you are the only one that maybe know how to score a lot of goals.
Dietmar Hamann doubts Claudio Ranieri's appointment. It's hilarious to look back on it now, but when Claudio Ranieri was announced as the Leicester City coach, many pundits saw it as a poor decision by the club's board.
And did the choice of Ranieri surprise you?
Shocked. Absolutely shocked. Couldn't believe it.
Ranieri had solid experience, but nothing seemed to indicate that he was the right choice for this struggling Premier League. Former Liverpool star Dietmar Hamann was one of the most vocal skeptics of Ranieri's appointment. Little did we know that he was about to pull off the most unlikely miracle in the history of English football. Despite being amongst the biggest underdogs for the title, Ranieri led Leicester to their first Premier League trophy, pulling off an upset victory that will undoubtedly be marveled at several decades from now.
Leicester City are champions of the Premier League. The greatest story ever told has its happy ending for Claudio Ranieri and his players.
Max Kellerman. Tom Brady will fall off a cliff. Tom Brady truly is a freak of nature when it comes to his longevity in the sport of football. So it's only natural that a few pundits would have voiced their doubts about him over the years.
Tom Brady's just about done.
When Max Kellerman very bluntly stated in 2016 that Brady at 39 years old was doomed to fall off a cliff, he was really putting his neck out there.
He is going to fall off a cliff.
Unfortunately for Kellerman, Brady had another Hall of Fame-worthy career still in the tank. And over the next 5 years, he won another 3 Super Bowl rings, utterly destroying Kellerman's opinion through his excellence on the field.
I stand down. He is the GOAT and the boat, and everything else.
Max Kellerman puts Kobe Bryant on all-decade worst team. Turns out multiple All-Star selections aren't enough to avoid being placed on Max Kellerman's all-decade worst team.
It's not that Kobe's on the third team that's the outrage. It's that he's on any of these teams at all. That is the outrage.
For Kobe Bryant, he seemingly wasn't doing enough on the court to convince the iconic boxing pundit that he wasn't a bottom-of-the-barrel player. Somehow Kellerman was so unimpressed with Kobe in the 2010s that he decided to ignore all of the positives in his performances when he was healthy and fit.
What team would he be on?
He would be on the All-NBA worst team, actually.
My God.
The take was so outlandish that Kellerman's co-host Molly Karam decided to walk off set as soon as he made the claim. Was he simply looking for attention? Possibly, but this remains an all-time stinker.
And what I'm contending is no player as ineffective offensively as Kobe was at that point, as inefficient, was ever allowed to shoot that much. Ever. Right. That makes him the most destructive. And he couldn't play any defense.
Terry Venables on Messi's aerial ability. The truly great athletes know how to address criticism head-on. In this case, Lionel Messi took that notion quite literally. After veteran manager Terry Venables commented on Messi's inability to score with his head compared to the more physically imposing Cristiano Ronaldo, Leo decided to do something about it. And so he went out there in the 2009 Champions League final against Manchester United and made Venables look incredibly foolish for ever bringing it up. Not only did Messi prove his well-roundedness, but he later went on to call this headed effort his favorite ever goal. Skip Bayless, LeBron is more Robin than Batman. Skip Bayless is widely known to be one of LeBron James' biggest detractors.
I'm going to give LeBron a break today because he did have a triple-double, including 19 rebounds. So I'm going to give him a D-, and that's D as in dog minus.
It doesn't appear to be anything personal, but ever since he burst onto the scene, Skip has been looking for any opportunity to knock him down a few pegs. Sure, LeBron made that a little easier in his early days due to his tendency to fail at the final hurdle.
I saw a Prince James that once again was crumbling under the pressure and the expectations to be King James.
For a while, many people totally wrote off his chances of winning an NBA championship ring, and Bayless was right at the front of it all. He famously said that while James has Batman-level talent, he's a lot more of a Robin when push comes to shove.
He's Robin more than he's Batman. He's Pippin more than he's Jordan.
4 championships later, and Bayless has been made to eat crow in more ways than one. Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. You can't win anything with kids. 9 times out of 10, Alan Hansen might have been right when he famously said that you can't win anything with kids in football.
I think they've got problems. I wouldn't say they've got major problems.
Unfortunately, he just so happened to be writing off the chances of a generationally gifted squad of Manchester United youngsters. If you have players like Ryan Giggs, Paul Scholes, and David Beckham talking out for you, it doesn't matter what age they are.
You can't win anything with kids. You look at that line at Manchester United today, and Aston Villa at 2:15 when they get the team sheet, it's just going to give them a lift.
Sure, United lost their first game of the season to Aston Villa, which was the catalyst for the comment, but seasons are not won and lost on match day number 1. Of course, Hansen was proven spectacularly wrong when United went on to win the title, becoming one of the truly great Premier League squads in the process.
As I said, I think we definitely deserved it. You know, the young lads have come in and been absolutely fantastic, and it's great for the club.
But what incredibly short-sighted punditry opinion do you think is worth a mention? Let us know in the comments below.